In an angle of the Las Vegas Convention Center, a row of Huawei Companion 20 smartphones are on the lining up, sparkling wine, for CES convention delegates to try of. It's a common stage at the trading show, but one done lightly surrealistic by the reality how few Americans will potential always own these phones. Order currently, U.S. networks don't propose any Huawei smartphones, since U.S. safety services are concerned they could be utilized for China observation. And still, Huawei has yet solved to contribute himself at CES in several strength, at a period while the business's head finance official many faces probable issuance to the U.S. above accusations of banking scam. And in an environment wherever US-China trading relations are at simmering spot. It makes industry feeling for them to go there, says Gary Shapiro, head execution of the Customer Technique Associate, that rest CES. Since they can encounter their buyers of all about the planet. So they wish to be there. But Mr. Shapiro may be setting on a bit of a courageous person. Down there are considerable indications how several of the top known China companies include, for the year at low, undertaken a move behind of America's prime technology occasion. Shenzhen-based ZTE, that had been at CES each year with 2011, was anywhere to be found at the year's show, in spite creature initially list as an participant. It has proposed no explain as to reason, but recent year Donald Trump card signed and procedure how told ZTE machinery must not be utilized by the US by the government, or any business how wants to do social job. More than widely, the CTA says it's too previous to aware if the accurate quantity of exhibitors of China is up or downward on recent year, before it carries out its auditing of audience. Head execution Tim Prepare accused China's economical variability, and offered looming US-China trading tariff, are already possessing an impact. Largest analysts forecast POM will not be one in accountability signs of tension. Following all, less iPhones sold out tool less iPhones done in China. The facility entangle of delivery chains and parts sourced of all above the planet in several respects makes the concept of an US or China telephone quite ridiculous. It's why all technique companies are looking really close at the result of negotiations among Washington and Beijing. If the two sides are incapable to hit a transactions by March 1, the tariff will be in location. If how happens, the industry planet will be encouraging himself how a changing in management might maintenance the harm. I include to say the Trump card authorities portion of the present tensions, says Frank Gillett, an analysis in Forrester study. As, if how authority changes later we're departure to include a discharge. Though if the trading controversy dissipates, which isn't departure everywhere is the increasing ambience of suspect among these two world superpowers above how they use their new technique. The is upcoming to a chief now since of the considerable advance done by the China technology production above the history 10 years. It has shocked off its repute as fair a resource of inexpensive, top quality manufacture, or as an annoying impersonator of West creation. Huawei took, done in China, and done at, intended in China. Top quality, true innovate and a cost spot how frequently came in considerably under compared efforts of POM. That has violated the smartphone planet procedure. Huawei is now other just to Samsung while it comes to world smartphone turnover. Some China brands love ZTE and Xiaomi are as well marketing so. Smartphones are fair the begin. One of the following main innovative is the massive acceptance of 5G, a technique how should propose 20 times the load speeds of 4G portable networks. To get down there will need extensive amounts of new network infrastructure facilities, and Huawei has installed himself as a dominating, if not the dominating, provider of machinery world. Huawei is the just real provider in 5G RAM, says Huawei's safety representative, Andy Purdy. Everyone else is game capture up. The US by the government has locked the use of Huawei's 5G machinery in the nation, and has according to reports forced some allies to do the identical. Some China firms are object to bans as so. Huawei feels the go is against competitive. Of the start of 2018 down there's been a world drum of animosity by the joint state by the government versus Huawei, Mr. Purdy argues. He adds how present policy posturing is prevent advance of creature done. It's precise to us how everything actual cybersecurity concerns already exist concerning means, they can be aimed. But we include the conversations to address them. Mr. Purdy argues how globally lot countries include engulfed Huawei's technique, consisting the UK, that utilize Huawei means through so will the US always be completely outdoor to China's industry? It's a issue how is proper stronger to reply as China graduates in which is now a hub of innovate how is superior the advance of the Western in deep ways. While so lot of the next is on how we seize and crackle private information, breakout moments in technique, that we see for at CES, are less than material. The following big item may not be a food, but a philosophical. Which's more than essential to a successful community, innovate or freedom. This China relation to confidentiality is in fact help them preliminary lot more than rapidly, Mr. Shapiro says. I would protect our Europe and us attitude on freedom and person rights. But I as well believe it has to be balance versus the requirement for innovate and contest.